Okay, but in terms of...
Oh, yeah. Minister Wilkinson, you're going first.
I'm first. Okay.
Hello, everyone. May I have your attention, please? The press conference is about to begin. My name is Karen Bronsard, and I'm Director of Intergovernmental Affairs at Natural Resources Canada, and I will be your MC today for the press conference. Tout d'abord, j'aimerais souhaiter la bienvenue à tous les invités, journalistes et reporters des médias à cette conférence de presse, en personne ou sur Zoom. Je vous remercie d'avoir pris le temps de vous joindre à nous aujourd'hui. And a big thank you to the government of Newfoundland and Labrador for their hospitality. Pour la première fois depuis des années, la conférence des ministres de l'Énergie et des Mines s'est tenue en personne, ici même à St. John's, Terre-Neuve et Labrador. The purpose of this press conference is to give you an update on the productive discussions that happened over the past 3 days. We will begin with remarks by both ministers, followed by a question and answer period. I would like to welcome the Honourable Jonathan Wilkinson, Canada's Minister of Natural Resources, to speak.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I would like to start by acknowledging our presence on the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk peoples. And I would like to give a big shout out to my friend and colleague, Minister Parsons, for hosting us here in this beautiful province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Tout d'abord, je tiens à remercier le ministre Parsons et les citoyens de Terre-Neuve et Labrador de nous avoir accueillis cette semaine et d'avoir organisé avec succès la conférence des ministres de l'Énergie et des Mines. It was, I have to say, particularly nice to spend time face-to-face with my provincial and territorial colleagues after 2 years of many virtual meetings. Certainly working together is going to be really important to achieving our shared goals of economic prosperity and reducing carbon emissions. And I think by having a chance to spend some time with each other, I think we made some good progress in that regard. I'm certainly pleased to say that Canada's Energy and Mine Ministers had a number of constructive conversations in areas of mutual importance, most notably securing our energy future, building globally competitive supply chains, opportunities for regional economic growth, navigating the transition to a low-carbon economy, and advancing economic reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. Comme vous le savez, l'invasion brutale de l'Ukraine par la Russie nous a incités à redéfinir notre avenir, alors que nous cherchons des façons de rétablir la sécurité énergétique mondiale et de protéger les chaînes d'approvisionnement tout en demeurant concentrés sur nos efforts pour lutter contre les changements climatiques. It is clear that energy security and climate action are inextricably tied together. And while they combine to form the biggest challenge of our lifetime, and certainly the biggest challenge for future generations, they also represent the opportunity of a lifetime. We certainly agree that Canada's energy and mineral wealth, along with our globally recognized ESG credentials, are some of our greatest advantages, and that to fully capitalize on Canada's energy and mineral resource potential, we need to act now, and we need to act with urgency. With that in mind, ministers discussed the Federal Critical Minerals Discussion Paper, a platform for public consultations on the upcoming critical mineral strategy. Ultimately, by developing end-to-end supply chains from upstream exploration and mining to midstream refining into processing and downstream manufacturing and recycling, this plan will help to speed up the development of critical mineral resources here at home and build stronger ties with our trading partners. With an understanding that these opportunities exist in every province and territory in this country, ministers also discussed the newly launched Regional Energy and Resource Tables, our strategy to identify and prioritize and pursue Canada's unique regional advantages and opportunities. And I'm certainly glad to have Newfoundland, Labrador, Manitoba, and British Columbia as partners for Phase 1 of the Regional Tables exercise. By aligning the efforts and resources of all levels of government, industry, and Indigenous peoples, we can develop place-based, resource-based economic strategies that reflect the regional diversity of this country. Critical to these and all of our objectives is ensuring Indigenous communities benefit in long-term ways from the opportunities enabled by our energy and mineral wealth. To that effect, the government announced an investment of $13.5 million to the First Nations Major Projects Coalition to advance Indigenous participation in natural resource projects. We renewed the Intergovernmental Geoscience Accord that identifies new priority areas for intergovernmental geoscience collaboration. We committed to collaboratively working towards net zero in the electricity sector, including supporting the work of the Grid Council, which we will be appointing in the coming months. Ministers committed to collaborate on the Canada Green Building Strategy, which will seek to mobilize national action around a number of objectives to create a net zero emissions building sector by 2050. And lastly, and importantly, I announced that Natural Resources Canada will be creating a Youth Council, which will provide a new forum for youth from across the country to engage on natural resource and energy issues and advise me and future ministers about issues that matter most to them. As I noted, it was a very productive and very collaborative few days. We can certainly collaboratively leverage Canada's energy and critical mineral advantage to accelerate the clean energy transition, to enhance domestic energy security and affordability, and position Canada as a global supplier for the net zero future. Shared goals that I am confident we will achieve through continued collaboration. J'aimerais remercier mes homologues provinciaux et territoriaux pour les discussions fructueuses de cette semaine. Thank you very much, and Minister Parsons.
Thank you, Minister Wilkinson. I would now like to introduce the Honourable Andrew Parsons, Minister of Industry, Energy and Technology for the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, to speak.
Thank you very much, and certainly thank you, Minister, and good morning to everybody that's here. It has been an extremely productive few days and a great chance to welcome all of Canada to Newfoundland and Labrador, and to have people here. It's certainly, as the Minister mentioned, it has been great to get back together in person as we move towards the future. These conversations in person certainly are extremely important, so we were glad to have everybody here in our beautiful province. Just a few things I'll say. I've been in this role for about 2 years now, and I can say that it feels like it's been a sea change in that time. When I started off, we were still in the midst of COVID. Myself and the Premier and our cabinet were dealing with a lot of difficult issues. There wasn't a lot of optimism in many ways. It seemed like we were dealing with constant challenges, but I can tell you now that certainly here in Newfoundland and Labrador, the optimism is palpable right now. People really see the opportunities that we have, especially when it comes to energy and mining, and I think we are going to play a big role, not just regionally, but nationally and internationally. But that was the important thing about this meeting, is that we have to do it in cooperation and in collaboration, and that's why meeting the ministers, meeting the teams, and having these conversations. There's no doubt that we will face challenges as we move forward, but in many ways this is an opportunity to share those. We are very similar across this great country with the challenges that we have. We all face them, but more importantly, and I think outweighing that, is the opportunities that we have. And again, I think I mentioned earlier in the conference, we as Canadians have a role to play on the global stage, and it's going to require, as the Minister said, the Federation works best when we collaborate, and we are all going to, I think, benefit from the decisions that we come to together. Again, I'm extremely happy about what Newfoundland and Labrador has to offer in this space. We are extremely blessed when it comes to resources in this province, and we have some big decisions to make going forward, especially as it relates to our renewable future, and hopefully there'll be some more exciting news coming soon on what we intend to do there. I'll cut it short here now because I know we have a lot of media here and would like to ask questions, but I will say this. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the staff of the Department of Industry, Energy and Technology, as well as NRCan. These conferences are extremely logistically challenging, trying to get everybody together, and there is a world of effort behind the scenes that makes this happen. So again, I want to throw a big shout out to everybody that worked to make this happen, to get us here together to have this. Certainly we are both extremely appreciative of those efforts, and we've had a great time. I have to say, the friendships and relationships that have been formed, I think, will benefit all of our jurisdictions as we move forward. And on that note, I will toss it back and thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Minister Parsons. We will now turn to the media Q&A portion